you guys are like set up to play Coachella like soon.
It's been like my white whale forever.
2 years ago, we actually snuck in.
Oh, no way.
We couldn't afford to get in. We waited outside like losers and asked like hundreds of people coming out like, are you leaving like for good? We got rejected like hundreds of times, and then finally we were able to snatch 4 wristbands after hours.
Yeah, it was a great moment.
Squeezed them on.
Yeah.
But we said that day, 2 years, April 25, we're going to play Coachella. We were saying last night we want to sell out our first arena in 18 months.
Did we say sell out? We might have said that.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it. 18 months.
What up, guys? We're back. Cheat Codes Podcast. We have a very special guest with us right now in the studio, Mojave Grey. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you boys. Drove all the way from LA.
Yeah.
You guys were at the show last night with us.
Great show, guys. Really.
Appreciate it. That was fun. You know, when we do like a LA show, it's like we can bring out all the friends and families, do some special performances.
Yeah, we felt that energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to say this is the very first Mojave Grey podcast.
Okay, good.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
We're glad to be your first.
Yeah. Thank you.
We have
we'll
to
never forget.
Get in early, you know, before like everybody
Yeah.
catches on, and then you guys are too busy or too booked, you know.
This will be like the infamous podcast that everyone refers back to. Like, remember when they were?
Yeah.
Wait,
But
don't
I'll
answer our
just
calls anymore.
so also shout out Tyler Brand, who's our day-to-day manager. He definitely put us on to you boys, and he always talks super highly of you guys. And yeah, I was checking out the album. I think it's really dope. I love it. It's like raw. Who plays guitar between you guys? You play the guitar and you're doing the vocals.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like I think we're cycling back to more like live raw stuff. You know, we've been doing this since 2014 and everything was very produced, and like let's figure out how to use Ableton and Silent
exactly.
And that was almost our like original vibe. Like let's just add all these live instruments, and like our earlier songs had more
early on. Yeah.
live guitars.
Yeah. It's a fun way to do it. With AI, you want that human aspect and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
we were
nowadays.
just
everything just feels too clean and perfect, and you want a little bit of mess ups.
Little grit,
Yeah, a little grit, exactly.
How did you guys stumble into your guys' sound? Was it thought out, or was it just let's just jam until we find something we like?
Well, you know, we come from kind of a rock and roll pop background. So kind of during COVID, we knew we wanted to start something, and we did. We launched this, but it was a little bit more on the alternative, almost like Radioheady, Coldplay thing.
Okay, sweet.
But we've always both loved dance music. I used to sing for a bunch of DJs. And like, that was like my early career, and it just made sense. So we kind of put our toe in the water of like kind of.
Were there some like festivals you hopped on some vocals and you're like, wow, what is this? Because I think that was our reaction. Remember when we first started and we were watching videos of like Zed and Tomorrowland? We're like, wait, what? This is the crowds that they're playing?
Whole thing when we started. So yeah.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Wow.
I mean, as you guys know, I mean, it's just an amazing community, the EDM community. And, you know, we grew up idolizing kind of classic rock, you know, the legend like Led Zeppelin and U2.
Oh, yeah.
And,
great choices.
and we wanted that energy. But I mean, honestly, dance music is the closest thing nowadays that really captures that just like euphoric party vibe. So, you know, we knew we wanted to bring back a little bit of this rock, but we knew we had to evolve, and dance music made so much sense. And we haven't looked back. But I mean, it is constantly this balance of trying to figure out, you know, how much of the rock and how much of the dance and like where we meet in the middle. So the album was kind of our attempt to kind of
like hone in
the
sound.
Yeah.
You guys call it desert dance music? Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah.
I like that. That's really cool. Like, it feels like it. Definitely. It definitely makes sense.
I mean, yeah, especially with, you know, like Burning Man and these types of, I was just in Tulum. Me and my wife, we went to this. It was like a rave on the beach, and it was actually kind of that vibe. It was like house music, and then there was a guy playing like a saxophone over, and then there's a guy playing guitar over, and I was like, oh, this is definitely different than like the nightclub scene that we normally play, and everyone just vibing, and then they're just these. It's like a whole underground scene, like you would have never heard of these artists.
Exactly. So we're just always trying to get that balance
Yeah.
You know,
Still figuring it out.
Yeah,
In a lot
100%.
of ways, yeah.
How do you guys position the shows, or is it just kind of depending on the gig that you're booked?
what do you mean?
Like, I think when we got into dance music, I was in a punk band. Trevor was in a live acoustic project for a long time. And when you're just lugging those amps and you got the van, it's like, it's a lot. So part of just like, let's just do the DJ thing. We can show up with our headphones, our USBs. It's almost just becomes this path of least resistance.
Oh my God.
We're like, okay, I guess I'm doing shows at nightclubs now. I don't know, because it cost me $100-$200 in gas to lug my equipment, and
oh my God,
the club doesn't want to pay me enough. So
We did so many years of that, and so like
it's trauma.
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. That's how it was.
Pay
With
your
us.
dues.
This is a therapy session, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But it was interesting. The first time we ever played a show, I didn't use an amp. One of the first times.
You don't really need amps anymore.
And
huh?
no one noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
don't
I was
need
like,
them.
why the hell have I
What
for
have I
a
been
decade been
torturing
carrying a
myself?
Vox AC30? Like, so
like the pedal. Right?
Yeah.
AC30 is a big amp.
yeah, that's a big.
And now you can just bring the amp simulator.
Yeah,
You're
it's
good.
amazing. And even my pedal board used to be like 50 but like for what we're doing, it's just like we've streamlined it. And yeah, a lot of times you are just like setting up in a club like right after a DJ and you don't have a proper sound check. So
So you guys are doing this in nightclubs.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it really does change, you know, time to time. I mean, we've actually been leaning a lot more on the DJ stuff lately because there's just so many opportunities for it. But I mean, he always has the guitar up there and I always have the mic. And it's funny because sometimes we'll just be DJing and we'll wait 30 minutes and all of a sudden he'll just start ripping something and people look up like, wait, hold on, what is even going on? So there is this, it's very fascinating being on both sides, from the more kind of real traditional band thing to then, you know, the DJing thing, which is totally different energies. I mean, they're obviously related, but yeah, it's just been such an interesting experience.
Yeah.
You got to give people like an out of body experience, like take them on a journey.
Yeah. But also like electronic music and dance music is more about everybody. And it's like, even like last night when you guys were playing, I mean, the whole place is part of it. And as a band, it just feels a little bit more like, hey guys,
come listen to
everyone
me.
look, and that energy really wasn't serving us. So I think that that mix of like, hey, we're all in it together, but we can still kind of throw down a little bit. And like, it's exciting for us.
It like allows you
That's
to
awesome.
kill your ego a little bit.
It's a little ego death every night.
Yeah.
I think it makes it a little bit easier. Like we all do vocals on random tracks, but we always have a balance of some commercial record that's after it. So it's like when we're singing, it's like whatever. It's like less pressure. But if it was like every song you had to sing, you'd be like, oh, my voice better be on point tonight.
Right.
You know?
Especially in a club, you know, you lose your voice pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like last night.
Like we're putting a bunch of these sets together and I'm like less voice, because
Yeah, for
honestly
sure.
it allows the audience also just to relax, because when I do like really sing, it's like, hold on, look, and you know, for the party to really get going, sometimes people need to just close their eyes and they talk to their friend or go grab a drink, and it's this vibe. And singing is a little bit like, hey guys, you know, so
Right. Creating those moments without it being overbearing.
exactly
Right.
exactly.
That's great.
No.
I love that. What kind of projects did you guys work on before this? Like you said
Yeah.
you were a solo artist for a while.
Yeah,
What kind
so-
of music was that?
Yeah, I have this like crazy kind of backstory. I did like I signed a huge record deal at Interscope under Jamie Iovine, and it was kind of the male version of Lady Gaga. So it was like her whole team, her producer. I was actually on tour with her for like a long
Oh
time,
wow, that's awesome, man.
developing a whole record that actually never came out. So it was like this really wild kind of,
You had to meet Jimmy Iovine and
oh my God. I mean,
Yeah.
he was like, I mean, he signed me directly.
Yeah,
So
and
that
he's-
was like a really crazy.
he's like the guy that presses the buttons, you know.
Yeah.
The
So
Beats by Dre. Give me some free headphones, Jimmy.
it was a dance, but like very pop rock thing. I mean, I still had a full band, and I think it was just like a little ahead of its time.
What was the project called?
It was just my name, Xander Black.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I put out a bunch of singles with it. I mean, I always wanted to be in a band. Like that was always my dream, but it's hard. I mean, as you guys know, I mean, different personalities and just like, you know, it's a lot, and it's not just like
parts, yeah,
dragging your amps and getting in the vans. It's like dealing with everybody and keeping everybody happy. And, you know, I think efficiency nowadays is so important, and being able to take a thumb drive in his guitar and we just jump on a plane and we can play. And it's
how is touring with Gaga though? That's gotta be wild.
You know,
you got to win over the gays at that point. Like you got to like go hard.
It was so. I mean, I was doing my album, so she was performing like arenas, and like she would be in the studio all day, and then she would do the arena, and then I would record all night. But I mean, we were in all the major cities all over the world, so just to get it.
So like on a tour bus studio vibe, or
no, I mean we would just park in whatever city, you know, for the 3 days, whether it's, you know, Abbey Road and then Amsterdam and Paris and Milan and just crazy stuff.
That sounds like a blast, man.
Yeah, that's trippy.
Yeah. What kind of music did you work on before?
I was doing like a lot of studio guitarist stuff, and also just in like a rock and roll kind of band.
Sick.
For, 6 or 7 years. We were like really doing kind of over the top, almost Led Zeppelin of the future type stuff.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Love Zeppelin, dude.
I'm just such a Jimmy Page fan, so like
sick.
Had the Les Paul, and like we were all like the swagger and everything, like just trying to do that whole thing. But
nice.
That was also really hard because we just hit a point where it was like, if you don't write a hit song and like really break through in that way, like there's only so much of an appetite for that kind of music.
Right.
But it's been interesting now to see it kind of coming back again, like rock and roll, and like even like pop artists are leaning more into the heavy guitar stuff, which has been really cool to see.
Or they want it to sound more real and raw and like analog kind of vibes.
Right. Yeah, I think the audience is wanting more human element, like you said. I think that is going to continue to be the future.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Grit.
And we were kind of just talking about this on the last podcast, but everything's so digital that the in real life moments are so much more important.
I know.
It was almost like touring. Then it was like, oh, you can make millions of dollars from streaming. Why tour? And then people realized like, oh no, touring is more important now.
Yeah, right.
And especially, I don't know how you guys feel about like all the Spotify stuff too, just like the music industry. You were with a major, if that like made you salty at all. I know us navigating the majors, when you can have your independence and you own your own rights, it's you have like a fresh of breath air. You're like re-energized. Like I might not be getting this huge push, but I can drop a song whenever I want.
Yeah.
When did you guys like figure that out? Was that like a...
Well, he figured out from the jump.
I had a situation where I was signed when I was 16, 17 to Atlantic, and I was an acoustic artist, and we released some songs, but once again, it would turn into like a not profitable enough for them, so you're gonna get shafted and shelved or whatever, and you have to play that game, and that was tough, you know, especially being so young. I had no idea what the hell I was doing, you know what I mean? So, but it was a learning lesson, and I came out of it.
And it's so weird if you think about plug-in stereo, right? Say you're a 16-year-old kid. You probably put out what, 40 songs,
something like that.
You get one song that does amazing, completely viral, like whatever. Then the major label signs you, and then they base everything off of that one song. And if it doesn't perform as well as that one song, then you're a flop.
Okay.
It's like, well, you signed me off of the 1 out of 40. It took me 30 songs to get to that point. Like, but you're not going to invest like 10 to 20 to 30 songs with me on the next level.
Right.
Yeah. So after that, it became a learning process. So when I left that project and left the label, and luckily they gave me the album when I left, which was cool. I released it independently, so it was like, whatever. But it was cool. But when we started this project, I think I was a bit like skeptical and weary and making sure like trying not to sign anything too crazy. Of course, we ended up signing deals that, you learn different things through different deals. But I think it gave us a little bit more of like a healthy fear of it. So we wanted to release like our first batch of songs. We did like singles deals because I was like, we should not sign anything long term.
We even had some offers that were like, just do 3 songs. We were like, no, we don't want to do three songs. Too many. One song at a time.
Smart.
Yeah. And there's some crazy terrible deals offered in the beginning. 3-4 album deals for no money, and you're just like, no, get the hell out of here. From what we know, we're not doing it. So
it's pros and cons of everything.
Yeah, there really are.
It's like, how do you keep being creative if you send in a song, the label's like, not this one. You send in another song.
Right.
Nope, not this one. By the third or fourth song, you just start losing motivation. Like you're not really, because you're not really getting the same feedback from a creative as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're not like, "Ooh, I love this part about it, but switch this up." It's more just like, it's very just flat. Like this isn't a hit. Yeah, that's the only one.
Well, that's like trying to write every song to be a radio situation, you know. So yeah, that's wild.
But it seems like there's more of an underground world now.
Yeah,
with music.
Yeah, so. I just read that the majority of the artists on Coachella are independent.
Oh wow,
for the first time
ever. That's pretty insane, actually.
That's really cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, post-COVID, it's a completely different world. And I mean, we were talking about before, I mean, there's just no rules. It's, it's the Wild West.
Yeah. Perfect time for
in a good way.
Desert dance music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's it? I don't know why I'm just obsessed with this idea, but like, what's it like living in Joshua Tree? I can't even imagine. You guys are just like seeing aliens every night. You're just like doing psychedelics. Like you have pet cactuses.
A lot of psychedelics.
Yeah, it's the best place.
I'm actually in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, we're half desert.
Did you have like a sanctuary? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I really love it. I was never expecting it to be as enjoyable as possible, but I mean, as we all know, when we're traveling, planes and hotels, just to be able to be in nature and so immersed. But it's also a great place to create. I mean, we play, or we record and we write out there a lot. You know, we set up these shows. You know, for our album release, we just dropped a pin to a bunch of fans, and like we just had like a little rave like right in the middle of the desert.
Oh, sick.
So stuff like that is super cool.
And I'm assuming there's not really permits or anything. No. It's just a rock.
It's literally
it's BLM land, which is like the Bureau of Land Management, where there's very few rules. That's sick. People are shooting guns.
Like you hear like assault rifles just going off the whole time.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So AKA freedom.
You also can you can live there. You can live there. You can just set up and no one. It's really interesting.
Right, like without owning the land technically. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm sure if like whoever owned. Oh no, you're saying it's government land. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
No way, I didn't know that.
So the government will just never kick you out. I'm sure if you're doing something weird, they might.
I mean, in the summer it's like 180 degrees, so I mean you're gonna be in trouble there. But But overall, I mean, it's a great. You guys really need to come out.
They're like, if you're crazy enough to live out here, you deserve it, man.
You've earned it.
Go for it.
For real though.
We did this. One of our first music videos with Adventure. Do you guys remember this? Oh, dude. So we had the idea because we had no money, and we're like. Wasn't the song like top 10 viral on Spotify or something?
Something like that.
Like just the global viral charts. It wasn't like streaming crazy every day, but like it just meant people were adding it to the playlist, I guess. So we're like, oh, we got to make a music video, but we have no budget. And Trevor's like, oh, I got this Taco Bell hookup where they give us, they give me like, what was it, 500 free tacos?
We won like they did this thing called Feed the Beat where they'd pick like bands back in the day.
Right.
They'd pick like they give you like $500 of Taco Bell money.
Great.
That's my dream.
Yeah, literally, yeah. And so we had to connect, and so when we started, it was like the third time I'd won it, which is hilarious. But just kept it going.
So I was saying you had the hookup.
Yeah, exactly. I knew a guy. But we were like, let's just go buy, 300 tacos and hand them out and shoot the whole thing. And we went out to, where'd we go?
Yeah, so our director, who we still work with at the time, actually no, Chris wasn't involved in that one.
No.
So shout out Ed Tran, who was the director of photography for a lot of those videos. But he's like, oh, okay, we're going to go out to Salvation Mountain. You ever heard of this place?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, what the hell is Salvation Mountain? He shows us the pictures. We're like, oh, that looks sick. That'd be cool. So we go out there, and there's a whole just underground society. Yeah. There's like a saloon. There's people just living in these trailers, and
it's all little hills of eyes.
Yeah, they all know each other, and
this random guy popped out of nowhere. He's like, "What are you guys doing?" They were like, "Where'd you come from?" It was like, "What?" Right. He's like chatting with us the whole day. It was like so crazy.
But it's like those are the kind of people like, if you can live out there and this is your lifestyle, like. To each his own. Like,
How far away is that mountain from Joshua?
It's kind of far.
Is it?
That's the low desert, so that's near the Salton Sea and near Coachella. So the Joshua Tree's in the high desert, which is like essentially like 3,500 feet higher. So it's a little bit cooler than Palm Springs and Coachella and all that.
Okay.
So it's about an hour and 15.
You guys are like set up to play Coachella like soon. you know, because you're just
Yeah.
you're
we
right
are
in,
in 3 weeks.
You are
from today.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I called it.
He felt it.
No, it's a.
You're just getting in front of the local people enough, and you have these desert raves, and like, well, they're already here,
Exactly.
a couple miles away.
Have you guys gone to Coachella as fans before?
We have. It's been
great
like
question.
my like white whale forever. I remember, early in my career seeing it, and it's such an amazing festival, and it seems to be like this nucleus of culture. And
Do you think it's lost its way a little bit with the Instagram girlies and the selfies and the?
yeah, it gets a lot.
I've
of
actually
hate.
never been. I'm just following the trends of what they say.
So I've been to Coachella one time, and it was the time we went
Yeah.
2 years ago. We actually snuck in.
Oh no way!
We couldn't afford to get in.
There you go.
So we like
If you know the desert, man, you could just like dune it. You call up one of those worms. You like go
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, how do you sneak in?
so we waited outside and
Like losers.
like losers and asked like
We have this
hundreds
on
of
video,
people,
by the way.
Oh, no
hundreds
way.
of people
Yeah.
coming out like, hey, are you leaving like for good? And like, if you are, can we buy your wristbands off you, or can we just snatch your wristbands? And we asked like, we got rejected like hundreds of times, and then finally between the 3 or 4 of us, we were able to snatch 4 wristbands after hours.
No way.
And we actually like
Yeah, it was a great
Squeeze
moment.
them
squeezed
on.
them on.
Yeah.
That would be a good
And,
video to splice with your.
We have
performance
Yeah.
it.
in a couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're really.
That's
We really
exciting.
manifested
Congrats
it.
on doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
it's really cool.
Are you
But we
guys-
said that day. I mean, we have a video. We said 2 years. This was 23. We're like by April 25, we're gonna play Coachella, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Manifestation.
That's
It's-
dope, man. Congrats.
real
Are you
deal.
guys
Thank you.
are you
For real.
guys doing anything special for the performance as far as lighting and production? I mean, it is every artist is different, but a lot of times they're like, "This is Coachella. We're
Yeah.
bringing out all the stops," and not everybody can do that. But
Yeah, we were talking a lot today about it. I mean, we're gonna bring out all the stops. I mean,
even just having creative lighting sometimes. I mean,
totally. We
yeah.
have a whole visual like wall, and we have a guy that we work with, and we create kind of like these really cool Western black and white. It's like this very sexy desert vibes, and we'll kind of match the set to that. And yeah, we're gonna do a lot of live instrumentation, cool interludes.
Sweet.
It's gonna be great. I mean, we've
gonna
been
be
waiting for
shredding
this
on guitar.
moment.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
better
I've been.
rip it.
I was born for this.
Exactly.
I mean, we're really ambitious, so we're really gonna take this moment
Yeah, you
as
have
our
to.
like
Yeah, you should.
we're here.
I think too, we're entering a moment in music where niche is more important
Yeah.
than spreading wide. You know,
Yeah.
the records I was listening to in 2009, they were like these pop records, and like the songs weren't specific, and they were like
Right.
for a general audience, and those were the biggest records. And now it's like more important just to be like, if you want the Mojave Grey vibe with black and white visuals and like super verbed out guitars, we're gonna do that the best. You know what I mean? Like
For sure. No, I think you have to. I mean,
funnel them like it's like a
Yeah,
funnel you in.
you have to think like that. And I mean, everyone has such ADD now, and we were talking. I mean, people's attention spans are so small that you really got to be like, yo, this is who we are, and this is what you can expect with the world that we're creating. So, we spend a lot of time talking about that because you have to stand out.
Right. Kev, you been to Coachella?
I've been to Coachella.
I feel like you've snuck into Coachella
I
before.
haven't snuck in, but I've been 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, long time ago.
Wait.
Did you see
Who is headlining?
Dude, I can't even remember who was headlining back then.
Beyonce.
No, it wasn't Beyonce. I can't even remember, dude. to
Probably
be
like
honest.
Frank Ocean or something.
I remember being too drunk with cousin Chris though.
What was the best performance you guys have seen there?
Bro,
When you went there?
Blink 182
Oh, that would have been so fun, dude.
crushed it. I was like crying because it was so nostalgic.
You were like forever
I was.
and ever. Like, oh my God, yes, I will listen to the song forever.
And they were so tight. Like the 3 of them, the power that those 3 guys have.
Yeah.
Was it with Tom or was it?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So is this
That was a
before or
good
after
match,
they had their hiatus?
Well, this would have been 2 years
After,
ago.
yeah.
So
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah,
so
okay,
after.
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty close with Mark. We've met Travis a couple times, but Mark is like the friendliest guy ever. We
such
did
a
a
nice
session
guy.
with him, and you could just tell that when we did the session, they weren't back together, and you could just tell in his mind, he's like, I don't know what Tom's doing. He's chasing aliens or something, but I'll be here ready
And
whenever
he really is.
whenever he calls me. I'll be here.
He's on the.
Yeah, how do you guys? That's a good segue. Like, how do you guys feel about this UFO
They're here,
craziness?
bro.
Yeah, we feel.
But you guys think the drones?
really
Do you think they're
strong.
actually on Earth? Like already,
They have
like
to be.
Yeah.
They have to be.
You think they're in the oceans? You think they're floating around? You think they're like just walking around like humans, like and in disguise? What's your take?
Yeah,
Are
I
they
think.
hiding in plain sight? Are they hiding?
I think there's a lot going on. There's a
Give us your
lot
spiel. I wanna know.
going on.
Yeah.
These layers.
You
to
guys know
this.
out in Joshua Tree. Or at least
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah. It's definitely some weird stuff's happening out here in Vegas too.
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you can go to Roswell. What do you guys think about? I forget what they call it, but Demi Lovato was into this. So that's kind of how I heard about it. But this is his name Steven something. But they basically go out to like the desert or whatever. They meditate together.
Yeah,
and
Stephen
then
Greer.
something like that. They claim that if they meditate in the right
yeah,
way,
they
they
summon
can
the
they can
UFOs.
summon the UFOs. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
No.
Like Demi
Yeah.
has done it. Like she's talked about it.
And-
She's like, I'm talking to aliens
Has
right now.
Has it worked yet?
Well, according,
I don't know. Not that I know of.
I think
you guys
it works,
done that?
guys. It works.
Does it?
I haven't done it, but no, I have friends.
But you know
that
what I'm talking
I know
about.
exactly what you're talking about.
I think
Wow.
according to Demi, it works.
Wow.
You
Wow.
trust
Like
Demi.
a real UFO will come to you.
Or they just like talking to you through.
Honestly, this goes back to like there's just some other shit going on. It really, I think that that whole subject is related to even bigger picture stuff.
Like parallel dimensions.
Yeah. I think it's interdimensional.
It's part of the idea is that because if you think about the physics of them traveling in like a spaceship,
Right.
you know that
Yeah,
it would be too hard on like a regular body, right? Like you
Right.
would just get
yeah,
like a NASCAR driver, like he's destroyed after driving in circles. Like imagine, so instead of traveling like normal physics, they're actually interdimensional beings. So if you're Demi Lovato and you're meditating there, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna put myself on this different frequency,
yeah.
and I'm gonna communicate with you on that frequency, then you go through whatever that dimensional wormhole is, and you're like, what up, Demi Lovato, how's it going?
Nice.
And you have encounters.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
What do you guys think about it?
I think aliens are legit. I just don't know. I don't know as far as like if they're here, are they in the water? Are they just floating? I don't really know. Obviously, none of us really know for sure. But I do think it's really interesting.
I mean, there's a lot of these whistleblowers that have been coming out.
Yeah,
that
Bob
are,
Lazar and
so
stuff. That was
many,
you.
dude.
You think he's legit, or you think he's faker?
oh man, Bob is an interesting take, but
thought
everything
that was
he
an
said has been pretty consistent with the
Exactly.
rest.
That
Yeah.
is the cool thing about I live in Vegas now. George Knapp, he's
Right.
literally just one of the normal, like basically
Yeah.
KTLA reporter guys, but for Vegas, and he's like the Bob Lazar guy that blew
Yeah.
the story. So it's like every day I'm at the gym, there's George Knapp just
No, at
talking
the
about no.
Oh, I was like, you see him at the gym. I was, that is.
I see him on the
Okay.
the local news,
Okay,
local
nice,
news TV,
nice.
because I was thinking, oh, this guy's just like he's into aliens and like
Yeah.
that's his like thing. It's like no, this is just a normal
Yeah.
local
Right.
news journalist that happened to break the Bob Lazar
Yeah.
Right.
story, and he like fully believes this. So it makes it feel a little bit more credible because it's like he's not trying to like ruin his career.
Yeah.
He wants to be on the local news so he can get his paycheck
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
just some crazy guy that came out of nowhere trying to get attention.
Right. Do you guys think the drones had anything to do with it, or you think that was like government stuff?
I'm
They
from New
disappeared.
Jersry, so
So you saw the SUVs.
I actually did see a bunch of drones.
What about the mothership from Iran?
Didn't see the mothership.
Wait,
But-
what's
Saw
that?
the drones.
What's
I
the
mean,
mother-
I did see them with my own eyes. So, but I mean, they look pretty man-made. But I mean,
Okay.
something was
So
going
you
on.
did see the drone.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I didn't get
They didn't, like,
extra
fly away
dimensional
super
vibes.
fast or anything.
Right.
No, not in what I saw. But I mean, there was a lot out there.
I mean, Trump confirmed that it was the U.S. government.
yeah.
Like,
Did
yeah, like after he got in.
I mean, if it wasn't the U.S. government,
That'd be crazy.
like why would they not?
it'd be worse.
Because what he said was in I think near Jersey or whatever. There's like a U.S. base, and they had clearance, like they had FFA clearance. So he was saying like the government knew the whole time. They just didn't want to tell the public.
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up. It's like
Why would you not?
let's just let everybody
Because that's
speculate.
so weird. I
Project
mean,
Blue,
where-
Project Bluebeam trying to scare us.
Yeah.
Right,
Scary.
right, blue
Looking
beam.
for nuclear.
Oh yeah.
Nuclear or whatever.
But where I'm from in Jersey is actually like total rural farmland, and I mean they're just hovering over fields. So it's like what actually is going on?
Oh,
There
like
was
the
that
drones
theory-
were.
Yeah,
There was that theory that they were looking for like lost nuclear
Yeah.
warheads, which
Saw
is
that.
terrifying.
Really scary.
Really scary.
It felt like some sort of test to me.
yeah.
To see how humans would react.
Yeah.
Just trying to just feel it out.
Fill it out, and maybe it's like
See how the public takes it.
Yeah, and a test for some other mission they have.
Right.
Because if they weren't behind it, I mean, they would have stopped it, or
Right.
there would have been more of like a counter to it. But
And then apparently there were all these sightings leading up to Christmas, and then Christmas Day just completely stopped. Like all the government employees that were flying the drones, were like, well, I have to hang out with my kids.
Yeah,
like,
right.
what do you want me to do? Fly drones on Christmas Day?
A couple of days ago,
animals?
there was a document that got released. I don't know if it's legit or not, but it had to do with JFK asking for like a bunch of information regarding UFOs a few days before he was killed, or something like that. There was a letter that came out, so that's really interesting. I wonder if he had anything to do with, if he knew about anything.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, we gotta figure this out.
Yeah, but the whole like JFK files thing is BS because they're like, we're gonna release.
Whoa, what do you mean?
No, I'm saying we're gonna release 80 files, and none of them are gonna be any crazy new evidence.
Okay, did they come out already?
Yeah,
It came out.
but it's mainly just talking about Cuba stuff.
No blockbusters.
Yeah, nothing like crazy. Basically, like they're trying to. Cuba did it. That's what they're trying to blame it on.
The aliens?
No, JFK.
you should get George Knapp on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we get George?
This honestly
dude?
needs to turn into
hit
just
him
a
up.
Go to the
full
gym,
UFO.
grab him real quick.
He doesn't. I don't know if he works out at my
I'm just
gym.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I'll hit him up. and see what's
Wait
going
outside
on.
the news station.
Man,
Come on, dude.
We definitely have high tech drones. So just it's the ones that go underwater. How do you guys feel about the pyramid thing?
Oh yeah, I looked into that last night.
Really?
What'd you
Yeah.
learn?
Do you think it's more legit or less
It's
legit? now
not
that you
peer reviewed, and that really is the gold standard for any kind of archaeology. So
Yeah, but there also is the other side of it that Egypt doesn't want there to be any
you're right.
disruption in the historical record because originally they said it was built in 20 years under one pharaoh and it was a tomb.
Right.
And all that stuff's been debunked.
Right.
Because they don't want it to be like, oh, we're less important.
Yeah.
They don't want it to be like, oh, the Egyptians didn't build this because then that makes us less. It's like if the
Right.
Romans, if you found out the Romans didn't build the Colosseum or something, you'd be like, okay, well, yours aren't as cool.
yeah.
There's a
What the hell
there's a
did
lot.
you guys ever do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You build a
then
col-
shit.
That's why people think it's racist because they say like, oh, you're trying to make our culture seem less important.
Okay,
So-
that's a reach.
So
It's
what
like-
is?
Well, it's a
It's
reach.
trying
If you just say that over anything, yeah, but
I know, but it's like we're trying to learn about what the hell under the pyramids.
Yeah, just-
That's nothing
just-
to do with anything else. Yeah.
just drill a hole down there,
Yeah.
see the cylinders, the power of the
Start
battery,
digging.
okay?
Right.
Yeah.
So what is the new?
They did
theory
some
about it?
scans and they found like a bunch of structures. But
Underneath.
there's really nothing verifiable.
It's a radar technology that can
The
it basically
LiDAR thing?
something similar, but it's called SAR or SAR, SAR, or something like that. It basically bounces audio waves and they can see how the audio is bouncing around and then it can kind of map out if there's like a crevice or open spaces. So they pretty much know for sure that there's 2,100 feet of extra space underneath the pyramids, which they did
Right.
not know before.
Whoa.
And they also think that there's multiple cylinders that funnel down. And this guy was saying there's like coils that coil
Oh, yeah.
around the cylinders, which that's where everybody's like, it's a battery.
Whoa.
That's like the conspiracy theorists. They say it's like a power generating battery because there's an aqueduct under the pyramid. That's for sure a fact. You didn't know that?
What would it
No, I
generate?
didn't know that.
What would it generate? Battery.
The idea is that the
For the
aqueduct.
UFOs.
right.
There you go. It's all
Exactly.
coming together.
For those circle videos they're shooting over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're big Graham Hancock fans.
Yeah.
Right.
So if
Okay.
you guys going deep
Lost
in his,
Civilization?
Oh yeah.
But have you read any of his books or
No.
he's
I've seen
I've
his
seen him on podcasts and stuff.
podcast
Yeah.
and his Netflix stock.
he's got a lot to say
Yeah.
about the Sphinx.
Right.
Oh, does
yeah.
he?
Yeah.
What does he say about it?
Well, I mean, it's like consensus by like modern day archaeology that it's like 3,000 to like 4,000 years old, maybe 5. But he's saying it's 10,000, which is pretty crazy.
Because what he's saying is based off of water erosion, correct?
Yeah, dude, you know.
But
the
he's
deal.
saying before the flood it was built and it survived the flood.
Well, there was like some huge event that happened around almost 10,000 years ago. There was like a storm that lasted like 100 years or something crazy.
yeah.
And
You're talking about the impact theory.
Yeah.
What is that?
So some people, it's basically like the Noah's Ark. You
Right.
know the Bible, Noah's
I
Ark.
don't know.
So you got
Yeah,
it.
he was
So
cool.
Graham Hancock, his theory, and some what's it called? It's the dry
Ungadrius, something like that. I'm butchering it.
Yeah, it's something like
I
that.
don't know
It's
what
something
that-
like that.
It's called the
Ungadrius.
younger driest impact theory.
Yeah.
And the idea is that there was an impact 10,000 years ago that caused mass flooding all around the world, and that's why every civilization has the Great Flood in their stories. So the Christians have Noah's Ark, the Indians have a different Great Flood.
Okay.
Every culture, even if it's a different religion, they have the Great Flood theory, and it's all kind of timed around the same time. So some people think there was multiple impacts, or some people think there was one impact in a solar flare that caused the ice caps to melt and then cause a flood.
Wow. Where do you guys think the lost civilization is?
Oh man,
Where's it at, boys?
Could be Joshua Tree.
could be
Wow.
Joshua Tree.
Well,
Right.
before we move on to pyramids, though, I did think this was interesting because I went to Chichen Itza for my honeymoon.
Okay.
You know Chichen Itza.
Wait, hold on. That's
It's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
off of in Greece.
It's in Mexico.
Oh,
It's
never
the
mind.
pyramid in Mexico.
The biggest pyramid in the world.
No.
That's underground.
No, Chichen Itza is basically just the Mayan
Oh, right,
temple,
right.
but it's one of the wonders of the world. But I just thought it was interesting because they said it was built over an aqueduct. And I'm like, wait, so the pyramid in Egypt and Chichen Itza in Mexico, they're both built over aqueducts.
And when do they date that one too?
Like similar timing. Yeah.
Really?
And then there's 4 cenotes that overlap in a grid. So you know what cenotes
Yeah,
are?
yeah.
So 4 of them, and then they intersect. Where they intersect is where they built the pyramid.
Guys, there was a lot of stuff going on back then. I mean, I feel like they really were on. We're Lord of the Rings fans. Kind of a crazy segue.
Don't get
Same
him
here,
started.
guys.
Oh,
Same
man.
here.
But
Or it could have been the Nephilim.
I don't know what that is.
We're going all over the place. I like it. This is great. What's the Nephilim?
So this is like the ancient aliens thing. So in the Bible, they talk about the Nephilim. The Nephilim are basically giants, but they say that they're half. I don't know if they're half human and half like giant or whatever they are.
Right.
But God sent the flood to get rid of the Nephilim. That's like in the Bible.
Oh.
But the Nephilim are actually giants. And not only that, if you actually read the biblical text, Goliath, who David killed Goliath, according to cubits, when they give you the measurements, he's 9 feet tall.
I believe it.
So the idea is that if there was giants that existed, could they not have helped build these pyramids or all these structures that we're sitting here like,
Right.
how did they do
I just
it?
saw a
Wow.
video of
Yeah,
that.
I've seen that AI video.
Yeah, I just saw that the other day.
Where were you going with the Lord of the Rings?
I was going.
There's giants in Lord of the Rings.
Well,
cool.
Tolkien, he created Middle Earth was not supposed to be another world. It was actually supposed to be Earth. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. And we're both really big LOTR fans.
That's awesome.
But he had this whole spiritual kind of idea with ages, and like the first age was of the gods, and then the second one was of power, and the third one was the age of elves. But that's actually where the Lord of the Rings movies take place, and at the end they're entering the fourth age, the age of man, and that was meant to be like we're living in the age of man now.
Oh, wow.
So it was just like an interesting thing. But he had a lot of basically the way he spoke about magic and like all of these things that we look of. Like the gods and, giants were all like real things, but it's all just gotten lost in the age of man.
Right. Yeah, I'm part Irish, but like all the weird
Yes.
magical stuff they have in Ireland
For sure.
with those like fairy rocks or whatever they are.
And he references that. What is the name of that
don't-
folklore?
I don't know, but it's so interesting. You
It
don't
is.
think of
I've never heard of this before.
What is a fairy rock?
What is it,
There's
Irish,
basically-
Irish magic and stuff? What's that?
Yeah.
They basically have these like architecture. It's kind of like a similar thing where like a Stonehenge thing or just like these piles of rocks, and they think that they're tied to like fairies and like different things.
Yeah.
But it's like an Irish thing, and you just don't expect that Irish people would think that, but it's like part of their culture. It's like similar to these like when we make fun of Norwegians for believing in trolls and all that.
Do we make fun of the Norwegians?
Yeah. It's like a thing. Like there's like
No,
trolls.
it's all real. It's all
You
real.
always do that.
It's all real.
Yeah.
Shit was going down.
Or what is it called? Snake Mound or what?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Serpent Mound.
Serpent Mound. Serpent
Yeah, in
Mound.
Ohio. Do you guys know about that?
No. You guys, what is going
Also,
on?
no one knows. So in Ohio, there is like a 200-300 foot mound that's this snake, and the mouth is facing like perfect west, right?
Yeah, it's aligned to the stars.
This is in Ohio.
In Ohio.
Yeah, no one talks about it.
And this
no one knows who made it.
Right. And this is the weird thing.
How
Like,
old is it? They don't know?
They don't know.
it's like thousands of years old. But like we grow up in America, we learn about American history, and they never tell you that there was all these ancient civilizations in North America, not South America.
Yeah.
In America.
They never
all
tell
over.
you that. Nothing about it.
There's one in Ohio. There's some other places. So I invest in real estate. I think this is like blowing my mind.
Right.
And a lot of the best real estate, like cheap, you can buy like $80,000 houses in Illinois.
Right.
I'm from St. Louis, so it's like me and my brother invest in real estate. The best deals you can get is this place called Cahokia, Illinois. We buy all these properties. After we buy them, we realize they're built right next to this thing called the Cahokia Mounds. It's literally like an
Indian burial ground.
It's an Indian burial ground, but it's like a temple. They made like and it's in the middle, like right outside St. Louis. I grew up my whole life in St. Louis, not realizing, and they sacrificed thousands of humans there. And they found them. They excavated and found all these human dead bodies in Cahokia, Illinois.
Is this good or bad
And
for real estate?
It's probably bad for my real estate, yeah.
Isn't this the
It's probably bad for my real estate.
But Graham Hancock tried to go
Right.
and put that in his Netflix documentary, and they rejected it.
yeah?
Wow.
No
But
way.
but it's just why. Like I don't care
Yeah.
if there's like a conspiracy. I'm just like, why did you not tell us about this? Like
Yeah.
it's weird.
I mean, I remember when I did find out about Serpent's Mound, it's like, why the hell isn't this
Isn't
a
that a
common
bigger
knowledge
thing?
thing?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, whatever. But did you see the episode where Graham tries to go and they get all weird about it?
Yeah.
I think it was like one of the first.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on, guys.
it's like you would think there would be tourism money in it. Like why would you want there to be less attention? It's in Ohio. It's not.
Right.
How many people are going to Ohio for spring break?
Yeah, right.
Well, not yet.
No, yeah.
Can make some money off this, boys.
Cheat
Just
codes,
saying.
Mojave Grey, live at Serpent's Mound.
That actually sounds
That'd be
sick.
You guys got to
Yo.
do like a whole tour. You just hit like all the ancient mounds. Like
Yeah, we're
the-
laughing,
cool.
but that's like such a
That's
The
Great
Ancient
vibe.
idea.
Civilizations
Kidding?
tour. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, this is happening.
Yeah, you can go down
Dude,
such
Circus
a
Mound.
rabbit hole. But you guys know about the tunnels in Turkey.
No, dude, I'm learning a lot on this podcast.
This is
That's
mind blown today.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it's I don't know how close it is to Göbekli Tepe,
that's
but
what I
it's
was
kind of
gonna
in a
say.
similar area. But basically, found a whole underground city, and it stretches for miles. They first found one. It's underneath an existing city, and somebody was like excavating their house, and they found like a tunnel underneath the house, and then they realized it's a whole underground city, and they realized it's from like 10,000 years ago, and people lived there. They found artifacts, pottery, tools.
Where is this, you said?
It's in Turkey.
Okay.
And then they found other ones. They found like 2 or 3 other ones. And then years later, they realized they're all connected. So it's like 3 completely underground cities in Turkey, and they're all connected with tunnels. You didn't know about this?
No.
And they're claiming that it's like 10,000 years old or something.
Whoa.
That sounds
That's
so
wild.
Isn't that wild?
When did they find this out? Has it been known for a while? Or?
I think they found it out like 10 years ago.
yeah, I don't know, but I'm telling you guys, it's all real.
Damn,
It's
dude.
it's all real. What's all real?
all of it. All of it. Yeah. That's wild, dude. I had a lot to look up after this.
I like this
I know.
ancient civilizations tour that we're kind of putting
That could
together.
be really
It's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
There's so many people that would want to come see that sort of situation.
Do you ever see Pink Floyd live at Pompeii? You ever see that?
No.
Oh
Oh,
man,
you guys got to check
That's a
that
thing?
out. Oh,
Oh.
my God. It's so cool.
It's honestly we talk about it a lot because I mean they set up in Pompeii,
Right.
and it's just such a mysterious, weird. I mean, the desert is very similar. It has this just kind of energetic thing going on, but it's great to create and play music in these types of places.
I want to know
Yeah.
about your guys' Dubai trip and how you guys
Oh.
met. Because that seems like such a weird place
So weird.
to meet. When I'm on an airplane, I don't want to really talk to anybody. I
Yeah,
don't
same
know.
here.
Like if there's like a chatty person sitting next to you, I'm always like,
Oh man.
put your headphones in.
So how'd that happen? You guys been on a plane, yeah?
Well, we were doing a project and I had worked with this woman who worked for the Crown Prince.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was
So you really are connected to the desert.
going over there to perform. And, my guitarist at the time, was a visa thing. Posey, who I had known of, but we hadn't officially met. He was the guy. And, before we all flew, I'd been there before, and it's like a 17-hour flight.
Oh, we know.
Long flight.
Yeah.
And I was telling every guys, you know, like we got to be serious here. You know, make sure you get your sleep, be hydrated, and bring your eye mask. So we get on, and I'm eye masked out, do a little meditation. 3 hours later, it's like pandemonium. You know, Posey's got like a girlfriend. You know, it's just like party, drinking
On the plane?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
one of the A380s,
The
you know,
Emirates?
the double decker.
Oh, fun.
And it was maybe a quarter full, so it was just a huge party. And
Really?
that was kind of the first time. And then we ended up spending
wild.
like 3 weeks in
Yeah.
Dubai.
That's wild. We've done a couple
was
shows
really weird.
in Dubai. What do you do for 3 weeks though?
Oh, they found shit for us to do.
Did they?
Yeah, I don't even know
Did you
how
guys
much
drive through the dunes and stuff?
we did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we
was
did
a
that whole
crazy
thing.
experience.
Yeah, we were
We shot a whole music video.
we shot. Yeah,
Oh wow.
that we never saw.
Oh really? You shot it and just never got the footage?
We saw like
Hold
little.
on, hold on, I'm confused. You guys met on the plane?
Well-
and then 3 weeks later you're shooting a music video?
Well, I mean, we were together. I mean, we basically like were living almost in this house apartment thing, and we were doing random performances, and then it was like, all right, we're shooting a music video. So we just didn't really know what to expect, but it was a great intro.
So would
to,
you say that's kind of what sparked some of the inspiration for the
yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's, as you guys know, it's like a marriage, you know, with and finding people that you can really vibe with creatively and have a good time with. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just hanging out talking about aliens, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, we vibed really hard, and we just continued to make music, and then COVID happened, and then it was like, all right,
we have nothing else to do but make an album or like make this project.
yeah. But that was kind of, I mean, Dubai, it's a crazy place.
We went there, we played a couple shows there, and we did the indoor snowboarding.
Oh
cool.
yeah, in the mall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like show you the
Whole
penguins.
penguins and
The
stuff.
penguins was fun.
And when we did the dunes, you guys almost got
That
stuck.
was
I
my
thought you guys
fault.
were
I
about to
almost
flip
killed
over.
us. I definitely almost killed us.
Passenger.
Yeah, we were riding the dunes. You're not supposed to go like up to the top and like because you could
Right.
fly right over. And we got to the very top. I was like, skrrr, and it would have just.
man.
Luckily, yeah, it was not
The
good.
people we were with, they're like, get out. They gotta reverse it for you guys.
Holy, Yeah.
We almost did the zip line. Did you guys see that?
No.
It's like the world's
Oh.
longest. It's like 10 miles
From the
or something.
bird?
10 miles.
Yeah, it is.
What happens if you get
It's
stuck?
like 15 minutes.
It's the top of like a skyscraper.
Like Burj
Yeah.
Khalifa or
It's,
something.
it's
right?
not the birds.
It's not
I
the
don't
birds,
think it's
but
the birds, but
it's one of the other
it's really
million.
high.
That'd be the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Dude.
Look it up.
You're
Honestly,
scared of heights.
Oh,
huh?
I would hate that. You guys did it?
no,
Oh,
we
okay.
didn't. We didn't.
Bro, I get scared just looking at the Burj Khalifa. It's so tall.
Yeah.
why.
I don't love heights. That freak me out a little bit.
Oh, they freak me out.
Yeah,
It's-
next time we go, we should go to the top for sure. Can you even go to the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like 10 tiers. You know.
Elevator, get off.
Oh, yeah.
Elevator,
Yeah.
get off.
And the frame is really cool too.
Oh yeah.
That was really scary. Scarier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because the ground
Right.
is clear.
Oh,
Do you guys see
I
that?
hate that.
We never went in. We just took a picture outside.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, gotta play a show.
That really feels like you're in Star Wars. Like I felt
yeah.
like that
Yeah.
whole city, just
Yeah.
the sheer volume of these skyscrapers and the architecture is so overwhelming. I've never seen anything like
Yeah. You go back to LA and you're like, LA looks like a little like
it.
dinky.
Anywhere.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's really important to travel and expand your mind because then you realize, like, Dubai, they have no crime, they have no waste, there's no littering. They basically forced this utopia.
Right.
And then you come back here and there's like this narrative, whether it's like, I lived in LA for 10 years or different places in America, and you're like, well, it just has to be like this. Like, there's a lot of people that live here. What are you supposed to do?
Right.
You're like, I don't believe you anymore.
Yeah.
And then you see Dubai and they're like, oh, Dubai made it rain. They control the weather. And you're like, wait, what? You know about this.
Nope.
I
Once
think they
again, I
made it
don't
rain
really
and
come
it
out.
flooded, didn't it?
So Dubai,
man.
they actually control the weather. They do cloud seeding.
They consistently control the weather, right?
They
They can,
well,
yeah. They can
imagine
make
being
it
a
storm.
desert and then you want to make it rain, so they cloud seed it. There's different chemicals they put in the air, but they had a mishap a couple years ago. They cloud seeded it too much or something. It was basically monsoon rain for like 2 days.
Whoa.
And they were really worried that it was
Right.
gonna like hurt people or kill
Yeah,
people.
it was like flooded the airport.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I heard Paul McCartney stopped rain one time for a show.
Like he just willed it.
Him and Demi Lovato went out into the desert.
Yeah.
Like we need the cloud seating.
No, he however you do it, but he flew. He paid to have.
You're
jets
kidding?
fly. Yeah.
Oh, he actually did.
Yeah.
I thought you were
I'm not
making a joke.
that up.
I thought it was. I'm just picturing John Lennon or something.
No. Like he had some huge show, like over 100,000. I forget where it was, and it was supposed to pour, and he actually figured out a way to stop it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's good that we live in a connected society with internet and there's a global market so that you can just see through the BS, because there's certain narratives of your country where they don't want you to think too much about because they know that you're going to start asking for these things like, hey, there's Hurricane Katrina. Can you guys try something? I don't know. And you're like, what? No, this doesn't exist. And you can be like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard about Dubai.
Have you heard about this this $10 trillion development in Saudi Arabia? That's this indoor city.
I thought they canceled that.
No, it's
the line. You're talking about the line.
Yeah. It's like 50-year construction horizon.
So it's like one line on the border of Saudi Arabia and whatever the other country is, and you just live vertically all on top of each other. And
well, no, it's like a long strip. What do you mean? Like, are you talking about?
I thought it was called the line.
So it's
it is, but it's on the ground.
Like
Yeah.
So
but it's basically like you live in a wall, like you live in a border wall.
That sounds awful.
Wow.
Look at some of the
You gonna
renders.
do it?
No, but they apparently it's like you never have to leave. Like everything's in there.
Yeah, there's like an artificial moon that they're gonna make.
Oh wow.
They'll recycle the water for you. They can grow food in there.
Like in Interstellar.
Yes.
Right. Right.
That's cool.
What do you guys think about 15-minute cities? Do you guys think that's real?
I don't know about this.
What is that again?
This one's got me stumped.
I need to get on Reddit.
I just throwing stuff out to see if Trevor's heard about these
I'm
things.
what are
or
these
not.
things you're talking about? 15-minute cities? Nope, never heard of it.
So the idea.
I got to do more conspiracy theory videos.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know. I'm I got to catch up.
This is just the beginning.
It's kind of like a WEF, World Economic Forum type thing, and you kind of implement these a little bit in Europe and different places around the world. But the idea is, and maybe this goes to the electric car thing a little bit. I'm not 100% sure, but they don't want freedom of travel, right? So they want everything. You live in a 15-minute city, everything within 15 minutes, walking distance, whatever you have. There's no reason for you to leave this 15-minute city. Your groceries, everything. And then eventually you don't have access to transportation. You don't get your own car. You just never leave.
And you die there.
Okay, so what is this? It's like an
It's
idea?
it's basically like
or
urban.
is this happening right now?
They're trying to implement.
Yeah, they're trying to implement.
Okay.
It's basically the idea of urban development so that you make 15-minute cities and then you slowly fade out people's ability and autonomy to drive their own vehicles and transport themselves. That's the idea.
Wow. Well, they haven't done it yet, though, huh?
I
I don't know. You tell me.
mean, it's not implemented at a large scale, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. That's wild.
But that's why I thought the line. I heard that they were doing the line in Saudi Arabia, but I thought they canceled it because I thought people.
No, I think they just made the distance a little bit shorter.
Short of a line.
Yeah, it's not gonna be as
Shorter line. I thought people heard about it and they're like, I don't know if I'm buying into this. I don't know if I want to live in a border wall society thing.
Can you leave at any time?
No, you can't leave.
Really?
No, I don't.
Oh, I was like, okay.
Why would you want to
Is there
sign up for that?
They haven't started this yet.
Does it have its own government?
The line? Well, I think it's just Saudis. I think it's expensive. Like you can.
So
it's like buying a condo.
okay.
You can live in the line.
Whoa.
Or yeah, like they did the Palm and the World and all this stuff in Dubai. It's all happening, guys.
Yeah.
Would you rather live
They're
in
real.
the line or
It's all
would you
real.
rather live on Mars?
Mars is tough. It's a tough, hostile
There's
environment.
going to be lots of people dying. There's going to be a lot of guinea pigs for Mars.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the
Would
first
make a
wave.
Suit that's like.
You're going first wave?
I don't want to be the first wave.
No, I wouldn't be first wave.
No,
maybe
no,
third
no.
wave.
Never.
Yeah.
I saw one of you guys drives a Tesla, so you guys are worried now.
Look,
You gotta look over your shoulder a little bit,
a little bit, but I will say it is just such an amazing car.
I don't think it's as big of a deal in Cali. I don't think.
They're
I could be wrong. But Trevor's from Portland. He was kind of the first to go. I was like, I kind of expected in Portland, and then it was like Kansas City, where my brother lives, and then Vegas, and I was like, what? Okay.
You going to buy Tesla, though?
I think I am.
There you go.
Because I want the full self-driving.
I mean,
So
I'm telling you, I
crazy.
use it every day, and it's life altering.
The self-driving thing sounds amazing.
Yeah, because you're just, I mean, especially I'm driving between the desert and LA every week.
Yeah, driving to the airport would be really nice. Just to get in your car and click.
Yeah. Chill, bro.
You don't realize how taxing driving is just on your brain, on your body, because you're constantly flinching, you're scanning, you're looking, where this just takes away maybe like, you still are paying attention. But it's nuts. I mean, that alone, I mean, they're super fast. There's a lot of really good stuff about it, but the driving thing is great.
But do you use the self-driving, Matt?
No.
Is that your ex?
Yeah, but I think I need to get it worked on. But it kind of goes into the 15-minute city idea, though, is because you get everybody on electric cars, you fade out gas cars like what they're doing in California.
Right.
And then everybody's on a power grid. Maybe the power grid doesn't work on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're still relying on fossil fuels. I mean, they could do the same thing if they stop.
Tesla solar.
Huh?
Tesla solar.
All right, there you go.
Get in there, Kev.
Tesla solar.
Weren't they gonna do that with like the Fisker or something?
I mean, Elon has it though. You can buy like the Tesla solar,
but it doesn't actually add to your. Oh, I thought you were talking about like on the car.
No.
So then you're completely energy independent though.
Right,
the surface area on the top of the car is not enough to be substantial.
That was like
they're building Tesla systems for your house or whatever too, which is great.
But the fact that these people are basically terrorizing these Tesla dealerships, doesn't it kind of show you like a lot of this stuff is BS?
Which part?
Like if the idea like, hey, we should all drive Teslas, we should all drive electric cars to save the planet, but then like you're blowing them up, like the biggest company. Yeah. This comes into question. I'm not saying it's like fully BS, but it's like you cared about it 2 seconds ago and you don't now. Like, so now I'm like, well, then how do we do it? What's the solution? Tell me what the solution is. What should I be doing? I bought a Nissan Leaf in 2014. It was a horrible car.
Dude, that was a legend car.
No, I had 90-mile range. I'm trying to help the planet here.
Yeah, 90 miles.
Now I'm not doing the right thing.
You can't win.
Can't win.
No, it's a lose-lose, baby.
Yeah, just got to go. Yeah. Got to drive a truck like Kevy, I guess.
Yeah, but I want
gas guzzler.
And I want to get a Tesla now.
Which one do you want?
The new Model Y.
The new one, the Juniper.
Yeah,
that's nice. I've got the X. Okay. With the gold wings.
Those are nice.
Yeah, I like those doors.
And the doors that open for you. I mean, how
great. It's more just like a trick.
Yeah.
But you don't black.
Great choice.
Yeah, come on.
That's a great choice.
With the cream interior.
Ooh,
that's nice.
Saucy.
It's nice. I have to say.
I got lucky. I got grandfathered in, so I don't have to pay for the charging.
Oh, you do free supercharging.
Yeah,
great.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean,
you don't have to pay at all.
Not for charging stations, no.
So you don't pay any you just
no.
Everything's free.
Yeah.
Do you have a charger here?
There's no.
I just plug into my outlet.
Oh, so trickle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Just pay for electricity then.
Yeah.
But have you driven a normal car since or recently?
Yeah, I'll drive my wife's or random people.
But do you notice?
Oh, it feels weird. It's like,
it's like a whole different thing.
The brakes.
And it's just, I mean, they're just so much slower.
It's jerky. Yeah. That's true.
Wow.
I mean, our car is like as fast as a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And it's a six-seater
I guess
SUV.
like the 0 to 60 is probably as fast as a Ferrari. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Especially the plaids, the Tesla, the 3s or the plaids or whatever. Yeah, they're definitely as fast.
2 seconds, I think.
If you're in self-drive mode, you can't go above the speed limit though.
Right.
So
well, you do 5 miles an hour over. But sometimes, I mean, on some highways, they let you kind of put it whatever. But it's a little annoying sometimes.
We talk about this a lot, but do you guys worry about the technology when it comes into play with entertainment and music and how just nobody's going to have a job in a few years?
Well, I think we were talking about this before because it's here. It's not even coming.
Because that's like every industry is kind of worried about that though, right? They're like, is AI going to explode the economy or is it going to take
I always
all
thought
of our
art would
jobs?
be the last, and here it's like the first.
It is the first. Yeah, that is the funny thing. It's like the people that are like, well, I can work, I have a wrench and I can work on the Tesla bot factory. I'm still good to go. It's like the South Park episode where all the mechanics are killing it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knows how to build furniture, so they're getting paid like triple the price.
For real. But I think just like seeing your show last night, I think the human connection, I mean, if you guys run on stage, people aren't going to be vibing like that. There's an energy.
You think that, but then there's people that pay tickets to see, what is it, the Shrek party?
What's that?
Is this in the 15-minute cities?
Yeah. No.
This is another conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy.
What's going on?
Shrek is real, guys.
Shrek is real.
Yeah.
He's one of the giants.
I don't know if this is like a DJ that does it, but it's like a nationwide thing, and people pay money, and it's like an EDM show with
He's a hologram or something
with like Shrek visuals.
I mean, there's going to be that stuff, but at the end of the day, there's still this human connect. What makes us human. That's going to be the question of the next decade, and like what can we do better than the machines?
What makes us ogre? Is we're like onions. You peel the layers.
Let's go.
We're getting deep. Yeah.
Getting
super deep now.
Super deep. Yeah. the high thoughts.
But no, I mean, it's going to be a big deal because I think anyone is going to be able to be at their house that has no musical skill or any training, and they'll be able to make an absolute bomb by themselves.
Yeah, when we were
Just by
talking,
prompts and
we were
stuff,
talking to
right?
Luke, laid back Luke, and he was like, "My advice for the younger producers would be, don't learn how to produce."
Right.
That's literally what he said.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
So what is the answer then?
He's saying it's just a waste of time because you don't
You're saying you're better off just like
using AI to
being
render
very specific
stuff.
on what you want to curate of a sound, like what sound that is, like just know what it is, and click, click, click,
Yeah.
click until you have the right amount of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What visual pairs well with that? What experience do you want people to feel live, or like?
Right.
Because it's not going to be so much about the song; it's more about it's more about the vibe the song
Yeah, that's true. It really is.
creates for you and your brand.
We are going to
know?
become much more curators than creators. I mean, obviously we are creating, but I think the curation of how we create is going to be more important because, anyone is going to be able to create anything.
Yeah, to come down to taste.
What's the feeling that you can give? People will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
See?
exactly.
But it's true.
I think it's a lot with dance music. You see it where it's like, oh, this guy's pretty underground, but then you see him, he's selling like 3,000 tickets or whatever. Because I think it's more about how they made him feel, even if they don't listen to that record like a million times.
But
like,
it seems like what I just said. It seems like exactly that's what you guys are doing right now with like
Exactly.
with
We're
your
trying,
sound.
we're
Like
trying.
you're picking the sound that you're going for. You're making sure the visuals like really pair up with it.
it
Yeah.
sounds
You're
like
able
the
to-
guitar is live. It
Yeah,
sounds like
there's-
you played it in to Pro Tools or like
Yeah.
There's
recorded
that gritty
it
raw
live.
element with guitar and vocals live.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you guys are on the right track
Thank
with that
you.
stuff. So that's good.
Thank you.
No AI is going to come in and fuck it all up.
Right.
It is all AI guitar.
Yeah.
And the
I'm
voice
just
is
faking
actually
it. I'm
nice.
just faking it. Yeah.
I like
You just said
I like
render.
tell it. What
Yeah.
to sound
Make
like.
it better.
Yeah.
But we
Like,
do
yeah,
these.
Sposy.
What was I forget what the software is called, but we do these sessions now, and you can just replace your vocal with the AI
Yeah,
and make a
I
different
know.
one.
Oh.
But then you can train it, so it's like you probably have enough hours of your vocal where you can train your own, and then you're just like, all right, I'm retired.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You could,
I know.
if you find and they could be a girl, they don't have to be a guy. It's just like, here's
I
my
know.
writer that plugs their vocal in, and then just hit the button, and it'll turn into mine.
Yeah, it's like Moonshine. Remember they did these demos. They're not even singers, and then they had like this incredible female country singer singing, and it was one of the guys just kind of mumbling into the mic.
That was like
Perfectly tuned.
It was Adele.
Was it Adele?
It was like the
they had
Adele
like
AI.
they like played an Adele. I was like, oh, it's an Adele song. They're like, this is actually this dude singing.
Yeah.
That's so
And
funny.
it sounded exactly like her.
We were working on this song with One Republic that we actually didn't release, but the vocal like sounded really close to Ryan Tedder, but not. We're like, is this Ryan or like what is the deal?
Sounded
and they were
just
like,
like him.
yeah, it's AI, but like Ryan was working on it, but like hadn't had time to like work on the vocal yet. So like one of the demo
man.
singers did the demo,
Oh.
turn it into his vocal, but he's like completely aware of the song. It's like so bizarre.
Yeah.
You know
it
what I
is.
mean? It's so weird. I love it though.
But that's why we got to evolve with the times, At least we need to understand it. Because there's a lot of people that are just like, which I understand, but
You can't stop it.
yeah, you can't
Yeah,
stop
it's
it.
like,
You want them to ban TikTok or what?
No, of course not. I mean, I think it's a great tool, especially for us. I mean, we're on our way up, and I think the technology has to be our friend right now. But I think
100%.
it's destroying the world.
Yeah,
Right,
TikTok
right.
is.
I think it's melting people's brains.
yeah,
Excuse my language.
absolutely.
I mean, we were talking about it again. I mean, if you just start, it's just too much.
It's like we have
It's
to
too much.
use the weapon to get ahead, but we know it's
Right.
I mean,
poisoning
think
the
about
world.
how many people hated sampling for so long. People hated auto tune
Right.
for so long. People hated
Oh my God, yeah.
doing music on a click. There's there's so many rules that you need
So
to be broken. You know what I mean?
true.
That you just now becomes so normal, and it's like just normalized.
Or playing without an amp, like that's a crazy thing
Right.
for one of those.
Exactly.
I don't tell any of my real musician friends.
We'll edit that part out.
Like, dude, where's your amp? I'm like, it's in the back.
They call you a sellout.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just got to get used to it. You
Yeah.
know? Or even like when Luke was saying, when people started switching from big production, studios to just recording music on a laptop, it's
Yeah.
like that was looked down upon. But now it's like obvious, for everyone to do that. So you just got to embrace the rules.
It's definitely been going that way too in the beginning with like Luke's era and maybe a couple eras after that with DJs. It was like if you didn't produce your own stuff, you're a fraud.
Yeah.
Like you would get canceled for that.
Right.
And now it's like whether it's Diplo or David, like everyone knows David Guetta doesn't like do all of his own stuff. He works with other producers. It would be impossible for him to put out the output that he does without working with other people. And nobody cares. Nobody like looks down on him for that because they know his taste, his like way to put a sound together, his ear for things is the talent.
Yeah, exactly. The curation.
So then it's going to evolve to where like, I rendered this with AI. And like in the beginning, you'd be like, wow, you're a fraud. And then nobody cares.
Right.
And then it's, we all have sex robot girlfriends. And in the beginning, they're all like, you're a loser. And then you're like, oh, it's normal. It's like dating websites or like eHarmony. Everyone thought eHarmony people, you're a loser.
Right.
Yeah.
You are a loser.
Right.
I met
So
my wife
true.
on Bumble, guys.
Yeah. You
That's
did,
how it
huh?
goes.
Oh, whoa. That's amazing.
I'm saying it's normal now.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
That's so
Totally
true.
normal.
Dude, I remember like 3 or 4 years ago being in the studio and seeing a producer use a splice sample.
Right.
And it was so
And I
frowned
was like,
upon.
You felt
What?
weird.
I was like, he's not gonna like use that in the song though, right? Like, it's just like we're gonna re-record that, right? Like it's a placeholder.
That was such a line for producers.
Yeah.
I definitely said that. Don't worry, I'm gonna replace it later.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But like, yeah. You know.
and now
Sounds
I'm
like
just like,
amazing.
can you just like splice it, use a sample or something?
It's like I know what you worked
Why
on,
are
but
we-
can we just find something on Splice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah, we have a pretty big song that we used, or we have a couple songs actually we're doing that now where the hook is just from Splice.
Yeah.
The vocal.
That's how it goes.
One of them.
Well, yeah, Who's Got Your Love? We did that a little bit with Carnival as well.
Oh yeah. That's so true. It's so funny.
And yeah, definitely like 5 years ago, you'd be like, can we even do this? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's royalty free.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's wild.
Imagine what's gonna 5 years from now.
I can't think that fast. Then that's where like, are you going to plug into the Neuralink?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, the question is like, how are they going to integrate AI stuff into music? Because obviously it's happening, but what artists have done it yet that are big songs? You know what I mean? As far as like, there's been people that like act like they're a Drake or a Weeknd, and the song kind of has a viral moment, but it's not actually the Weeknd or Drake doing it yet. So it's like, there haven't been any massive artists that have released AI.
Well, not that
yet.
we know about.
And that we know of yet.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard, didn't Kendrick have a fully AI song on his album?
I don't know.
I feel like that was like someone.
No,
was
yeah,
telling me.
there's definitely major artists that instead of spending time in the studio, they're just replacing the demo singer's vocal with AI. That's 100% happening. It's happening with
Right,
like
right.
people like Britney or like Kendrick, like you're saying. But I think what you were saying is there going to be like a new artist that's fully AI? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, whatever, or just a massive artist that's like very openly like, this is an AI song, or like I used AI to make this song. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, no massive artist is
Timbaland.
right, but he's not. But with whether he's doing it or not, it's not like he's released a big song that
Yeah.
everyone
Taylor
knows.
Swift.
That's
It's
AI.
still like frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
As
like
of
Taylor
now.
Swift,
You're not
Drake,
gonna
Post
be
Malone.
the first to admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grimes kind of, but
And what
Right,
happens
she's
when?
weird.
Once again, not a massive song.
She's weird,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? They might be doing
Like a
it, but
hit.
it's not
Yeah.
massive.
yeah, they don't want to admit it if it's a hit because then they don't want to get in trouble.
Like
Yeah.
what happens when one of those
They don't
songs
risk
too
it.
just like wins a Grammy?
Yeah,
The
that's
first
when it's gonna be
AI,
a real-
that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
That's coming soon.
yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, with like Suno, for example, the legality, because I've looked into this. If you have a premium membership, you own whatever it renders.
Oh, really?
It is yours. So something that we have talked about is the next wave going to be a less is more approach because it's harder to cut through the noise? Or is it going to be like brands, like you said, where it's like you're Nike and you drop 100 shoes
Yeah.
a year, but that's your brand and your brand is huge.
Yeah.
Like artists could now drop 100 songs a year if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Would you listen to 100
But a lot of people
Drake
do.
songs a year?
Yeah, I would.
See?
Drake.
Let me ask you guys a question because I'm curious. If you guys were starting your band today, how would you go about it?
That's a great question.
That's what I'm saying. My brain doesn't work this fast. Like I need like I need a
Like-
grok
like you guys-
integration.
Like you guys just met. You're like, all right, you're all as talented as
good
you are, and you're like,
question.
what's
mean-
going to be our approach to the game?
I think we definitely would utilize. I mean, when we first started, we definitely used like our ability to write and produce songs to like get our foot in the door with a lot of like DJs and stuff because they were mainly just producers that were always looking for songs. Especially 10 years ago, it was harder to find a good top line. But I guess try to, I don't know, implement the AI stuff like way earlier in. We probably would just start dropping stuff. Like maybe
Why, do you send me
try to break some
songs
rules,
now?
get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like release the songs with Taylor Swift vocal and get in trouble and get it taken down.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think you should maybe try to break the rules a lot right now if you're starting out and you want to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not?
I think also doing things like this podcast and just people need to see that level of authenticity. I mean, when we first started,
Totally.
it was just like, we're going to put out a song a month. That was like our whole focus. Like we did social media a little bit, but it was like, let's just make the best song we can possibly make and put one out every month. And at that time they said that we were crazy because artists weren't doing that. They were putting a song out every like 3 or 4 months because it was like, put out the song, put a bunch of money into it, promo it.
Right.
So that was our advantage, was we could actually use the algorithm of Spotify on our favor because we could move faster than the major labels.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now everyone's just dropping as many songs as
Oh
possible.
my God.
It's like it doesn't benefit you to do that now. It's like you really do. Well, I mean, it can
Unless
if
you're
a
like
song
huge
clicks, but,
and then you do like 4 songs a month.
Yeah, you're better
Like,
off
sorry,
trying to put more
everyone.
eggs into the basket. You know, I feel like.
But I think podcasting and this kind of just chatting about life and things that inspire us and what drive us as artists, I think that is like so valuable.
We definitely have way more freedom now, where before it was like every song you release, you're like, are we allowed to talk about that? Are we allowed to talk about that? Are we getting in trouble for that? And then now it's like you're encouraged to. It's like you're not even going to get a record deal unless you have TikTok followers. So like they're not going to say anything.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people are putting their songs fully on Instagram now.
What do you mean?
Instead of putting it like it used to be like, oh, they'll tease it and then they'll put it on Spotify. Now they'll put like the full song, like Jack Harlow. He'll put the full song on Instagram.
Like
See
just
who
as
reacts.
a video?
Just
With
before,
the
I'm saying before
it drops.
before it comes on Spotify.
So people
Oh,
can
yeah.
share it and they use it in their reels and
yeah.
stuff.
And that was unheard of years ago. That would be like, oh, you're gonna get in trouble.
Right, you're putting out the song without putting out the song.
Right.
We should do
Yeah.
that.
We actually really should do that.
Yeah, do it.
There we go.
There you go.
And then if whatever reacts, if you guys have full control over it too, whatever reacts, that's the one you release or make your single or whatever.
Because
Yeah.
especially you're teasing the song, but you want people to reshare it, and
Yeah,
then
right.
you want that to to go over to the streams too,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So it's like
Buzz
the song's
before you
not
release
out.
it.
Yeah.
You know? So when you do, it's like, oh, I already know. I want to go listen to it finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we should do that.
By the way, we should make a hit record.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm
let's
down.
do it.
What are you guys trying to do?
What kind of records? I don't even know.
But I mean, like, you guys have achieved so much. You guys have an amazing presence. Like, what gets you guys inspired now? Like, what are you excited about musically?
Good question, man. It seems to always be changing. I mean,
It's hard to keep up. We have some like soulful, like funky stuff in the pipeline.
yeah, I've definitely been trying to we've been trying to add a lot more just live instrumentation into
Yeah.
our tracks. Like there's one that we're gonna do pretty soon that has live bass, live guitar, live horns, which is a lot.
Do you guys
fun
ever
to
play with musicians like that are doing live, like horns or something?
We've done stuff like that before. We definitely hired horn players and string players before actually, but
That's cool.
yeah, but I play guitar and stuff like that and bass and whatever, so I can do. Things
Yeah,
like
we
that.
have a record we're working on with Kenny G,
Whoa,
and we had him record a bunch of
Yeah, you came into the
saxophone.
sax.
that's so cool,
awesome.
Yeah.
bro.
It was inspiring and it was like exciting. Just like, oh, I want to hear what takes he did.
Yeah,
And he's doing ad libs. He has his little runs. It's like his
little flares he
solo.
tossed in the verses
Yeah.
and stuff.
Wow.
Did you hang with him? He's got a whole interesting story.
We didn't, but we're gonna hang with them in a couple weeks. Actually, we're doing a photo shoot, and he's gonna come out and do some stuff with us. So
What's
do a
his,
little
what's
video and
his
stuff.
story?
A friend of ours actually did a he was producing a podcast with him on. I mean, he came up through Starbucks, right? he was
What?
friends.
The Starbucks.
First off, he's a
Starbucks
billionaire.
He is.
He's a billionaire because
Kenny G?
he was one of the first investors in Starbucks.
Oh, I think I did hear about
No
this.
way.
And one of the founders was like, "Yo, we're just gonna put Kenny G in the front of every Starbucks."
That makes sense.
And then
I
he
do
just
remember him
sold
in
Yeah.
like every Starbucks.
billions and
That's
billions
insane.
of physical CDs.
You always wonder, like, how does a saxophonist
Yeah.
get
Oh
famous
my
and just
God.
be the guy? How does he?
Yeah.
How does that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah,
You know what I
he
mean?
really is.
And he is that guy.
He is.
And if you're in a coffee shop and you want to vibe out, sip your coffee, maybe you're writing the great American novel. What do you want to hear? You want to hear Kenny G just lulling you to like creative
Yeah,
sleep.
I know.
Everyone loves saxophone, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
it's
it's
the
the
best.
best instrument. So I wish I could play it.
It
You guys
is
play
a
anything
great-
like that?
I don't play any
that'd be
I
fun.
reed
never
instruments.
took to the wind instruments. Were always hard for me.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I play sax.
Oh, yeah, you do play a little sax.
I need to buy one.
Yeah.
You should.
You gotta have
bro.
you gotta have
It's
Kenny
sick.
sign it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
He was
Sax
saying
with a
that.
good verb on it. It's just like oof, silky.
There's
It
so
is,
much.
dude.
Yeah. There's
It
so much
hits.
extra things you can do now with SFX and AI and make it sound
Add a
sick.
little distortion, a little sauce on there.
There you go.
Yeah. I love it. But yeah, what about you guys? Anything inspiring you guys that you guys are?
We've been writing a ton. So we're just we're hungry. So
Yeah.
we're just we're writing. We're about to release our first song of the year. Our album just came out at the end of this last
Yeah.
year.
Awesome.
So which has been doing really well. Our one song is like the #1 song on Sirius FM
Oh hell yeah.
Chill.
Sick, dude.
So we're just trying to level up everything.
We gotta get in the studio.
Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah,
make
let's
something,
do it.
You know?
You got to drop something right after Coachella or like premiere it.
We are. That-
You know you're gonna get so much press.
Yeah,
For that.
for sure.
Yeah,
You
it'll be
get-
cool. It's gonna be a good moment.
I would say that's one of the things I've realized of doing this music thing 10 years plus. It's all about the moments
Totally.
and just capturing them and maximizing every moment or opportunity that you get,
So true.
because that's what the fans are going to remember. Like they remember moments. Like it's like, yeah, you can have a hit song, but like what was the thing that
Yeah.
happened? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Totally. Your moments are important.
Yeah, we're visualizing that to be our launch pad
I love
Right.
that.
because we really did manifest it, and here we are
Yeah, dude. That's super cool.
talking to you, fine
Are
people.
there any other things you've been manifesting that you like really want to accomplish?
We were saying last night we want to sell out our first arena in 18 months.
That'd be sick.
Oh, yeah.
Did we say sell out?
I like that.
We might have said
Yeah,
that.
I'm sticking to it. 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're just on that grind. I mean, we really do see this as like a really big kind of a project. So we're just hustling.
Yeah. And when
That's the mentality to have.
you
though.
see that everybody starts somewhere and you realize it's possible, then it gives you more of that motivation. Like
Oh, for sure.
we did a bus tour in 2022, I think. It was the Hellraisers tour. And we played a lot of random cities that we don't normally play, but we played Albuquerque. And I remember in the green room, it had Rufus the Soul's like signage on there. And I was like, okay, you know, how big was that venue? Like 600?
Right.
There was nothing more than 1,000. It was probably
Right.
less than 1,000.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's like, oh, Rufus played here.
I
They did
know.
all these tours to get them to that arenas. It wasn't like they hit the arenas or the stadiums overnight. It was like this was their trajectory, and yeah.
Keep
It's just,
building.
just motivating, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Step by
crazy. I mean, also, and how do you guys feel? I mean, in regards of your career, do you guys feel like, you know, you have made it? I know, like for us, I mean, the idea of playing Coachella was just this like magical thing, and now
Right.
it's here. It's 3 weeks from today, and well, yeah.
I
All right, well, what's
I-
after that?
I will say this because I'm assuming you guys are into like manifesting and the
Yeah,
law of
we are.
attraction and all that stuff. I think when we first started, we had a list of all these goals, and we were definitely very clear and had a vision of what we wanted, and it happened pretty fast for us. Like it all happened really fast. And it was like once we accomplished these things, it was kind of like almost like a now what
Right.
scenario. And I think a lot of people experience that. And then you just have to pull back a little bit and almost ask yourself like, what would I be willing to do if like money wasn't the issue, or like
Right.
I wasn't, you know, in the beginning you're just like, my goal is like, I just want to be a full-time musician.
Yeah. Right.
And then you
of course.
become a full-time musician and you're like, okay, but what's my daily life going to be like? If I were to do this for like 20 years, what's my schedule? And, you know, we maybe pulled back a little bit on touring, but then it's like, what's our comfortable touring. Okay, we'll do 2 or 3 weekends a month, and like we're all comfortable with that. Okay, cool. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So then it's like, instead of the goals being like, I'm gonna sign a record deal, it's more like,
Totally.
my goal is to have balance. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
That's an amazing place to be though.
Yeah.
You know, where
Right.
you can kind of choose that.
Because the goal can be like a feeling too. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you're in
So
a
true.
major label situation. You're like, well, my goal is to have ownership, and my goal is to have freedom and be able to drop a song whenever I want. And that's, I think, a different situation.
I think balance, like you said, that's the most important, because we all know this is like just such a wild life that we live. And if you don't have that balance, you can just get completely
You lose it.
really
That
lose
was
it.
like what the thing that stuck with me when we opened for Bob Moses that time in Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
We were like catching up with them, and they were like did some crazy. They did like 130 shows or
I
something.
think it was 150.
150 in a year,
Yeah.
and they were like, we just want like this coming year, like we want balance. And I was like, shit.
I can't wait to just want balance.
I know.
Yeah, totally.
But it is, yeah. When
But
you're
soon.
when you're kind of more starting out, there's nothing to lose, and everything
Yeah.
is an
to gain.
opportunity. Everything is like the momentum,
Yeah.
and then there has to be more strategy.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but usually there is.
Just having those clear goals and both being like aligned on it is like it's like the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so important.
And
so
this is more of like a manifestation thing or whatever, but a lot of it comes down to the resistance, right? Seems like you guys don't have resistance to it, whereas when we first started, especially me, there was like goals that scared you. You had a goal, and it's good to have goals that scare you, but you don't want to be like clench up about it.
Right.
Like, ooh, I don't know if I could. You have to like
is
relax.
it even possible?
Yeah. Like you have these intrusive thoughts that are like, you shouldn't even want that. You shouldn't even ask for that. You have to be able to like calm your nerves on that and just like lower the resistance and be like, all right, cool. I'm happy with where I'm at, but like this is where I want to go, you know? And then you can get there. And that's what was good about teaming up with these boys, is like they had seen different things than what I had seen. So it created like a higher level of belief
Yeah.
in me.
Yeah, I think Kevy changed our mindset a lot. I think me and Matt, like you said, came from that whole like lugging our gear around. I toured in a van for 6 years,
Yeah,
and
of
sleeping in
course.
Walmart parking lots, getting paid
Yeah.
shit, eating Taco Bell, literally paying my friends like in Taco Bell coupons because I couldn't
Right.
afford to pay the money. You know, and then we meet Kevy, and he's like, we got to make this shit easier on ourselves. Why are we like killing ourselves to
Yeah.
do this? Like, what the hell are you guys doing? You know, so
It's true.
it's just having the right mindset for sure of just like not, making it easy on yourself and enjoying the
Yeah,
process.
I was kind of freaking myself out yesterday because I just got married, and my wife doesn't know anything about club music, and she listens like Jason Mraz, like she knows nothing
Right.
about what we're doing. So I was kind of explaining our process in LA, and we were like walking around Beverly Hills, and I was explaining. It was like this whole thing happened in like 2.5 years. And in the moment when you're in the grind, it feels like forever. It felt way longer than 2.5 years. Like we moved in 2012. By mid 2014, we were like full-time musicians, or I was full-time musician. So, but in the moment, it feels like so hard. And then
Yeah.
you look back and you're like, what was I tripping about? That was so quick. That was like a couple of years of like focus and effort. And
Grind.
So it's all-
What was the one moment for you guys where you're like, fuck, we did it?
I mean, hearing our song on the radio was, was a really cool moment. But I think playing, we did the Jingle Ball with Madison Square Garden or whatever. That was just a crazy moment. Being able to be on that stage and seeing that many people and
Right.
in one room for the first time. Singing along to a song. You're
Yeah,
like, what
that's
the hell is
crazy.
happening? So that's probably my big aha, like made it
Yeah.
feeling moment or whatever. So what about you guys?
Probably, the Jingle Ball where we saw Robert Kraft or whatever his name is, the NFL guy.
From the Patriots?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
talking with the commissioner during like the whole Deflategate,
Oh,
and they
wow.
weren't supposed to be talking.
You're like, what's happening? right
Yeah,
now?
that was pretty. That was. Wow.
we like play the show, and then we go after, and the promoter, his name Alex, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, come back with me. And then we're in there, and it's just Roger Goodell and Robert Kraft
Roger
like,
Goodell, that's his
talking. And then they go back to some club after, and it's just like these 80-year-old men with like 21-year-old models. And we're like, this is how people live? Like, this is
Yeah, dude, that was
bizarre,
that was
man. It's like
weird.
in New York,
Right.
you know?
Oh, man.
So, yeah. When you pull back the curtain, because I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, so that just doesn't exist. Like, none of that exist. And then you're in New York, you're in the thick of it in the city, or you're in LA. And you're like, oh, this is normal to these people.
Yeah.
There's no like,
yeah, right.
This is a weird night for Roger Goodell. And it's like, nope, he's hanging out in the the VIP section of Madison Square Garden.
What about you guys? Have you had what's your moment that you felt like?
I mean, this like journey has been like really, there's so many ups and downs. But I think just we played a crazy festival this past summer for like 40,000 people in Romania, which is just so random because we're really not that well known, but the buyer found out about us and gave us this headlining slot. And I mean, it was almost this weird foreshadow of like what we wanted our dreams to be.
And it builds the vision.
And, we just walked up on that stage, and I mean, just to see that sea of people, and we just, we crushed it. That was like a huge, like, oh my God, this is actually working.
And then
you can taste it there. It's like attainable. It's right there. You're like, oh, you can do this 100 times or 1,000 times.
Right.
That was like a drug in itself. Like we were high off that for still kind of.
Yeah, we're still there.
Still coming down.
Still coming down.
And that's what you realize when you do these types of shows. It's a huge crowd. I get stage fright, but when it's a bigger crowd, it's almost less pressure.
So much easier.
So much easier.
We've played the work. I mean, we've just been in it, and some of the shows have just been gut wrenching. But then you do that, and it's like this is
makes it all worth it.
It's like way easier to play for 40,000 than like
so much
50.
Easier.
Yeah, dude.
50 is a little tough, or like 10 or
10, 5. I've played in front of crazy, terrible crowds before.
I'm kind of like I don't know if I'm more zen about it now, but like I'm pretty accepting of it now. Like there's something.
Yeah, you have to go into a mode. You're talking about when the audience isn't what you want it to be.
Yeah, like there's something.
It kills me.
It kills Trevor. Trevor hates it, but
it kills me so bad now.
It's kind of funny to me now. It's kind of like
I hate it. Like.
No, but like you said, you have to just go into a mode, and like you just got to like dive into the music.
It's all perspective, I mean, it took me,
bro, dude.
It hurts.
I really feel
it took me like sobering up though to get there. Whoa. It took me to be like, I have to just live in this feeling. I'm uncomfortable because like you avoid being uncomfortable during your performance.
For sure.
That's why I would drink before every show. Like, well, I don't want to be distracted and be uncomfortable. Like, oh, some weird guy's looking at me funny in the club. Oh, now I'm distracted. And then you're sober and you're like, you just have to live in that uncomfortable feeling.
Totally.
And then you realize it's not that big of a deal. And then,
but there's some shows that can be small and it can still be a good time.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
That
it's not the number of people.
It's the vibe in the room. It's like that's what kills me. It's like it could be a big crowd and the vibe could suck too.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So it's just like when the vibe is not good, that kills me. It's not necessarily the crowd.
There's like character building sets.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
you got to build the calluses a little bit sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Got a lot of those.
Oh, too many of those.
I actually have to run to the airport.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you.
Wrap it up,
no, you're good. We appreciate you boys jumping on. This has been.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, guys.
Yeah.
It's really been.
Thank you guys. Thanks for making the time.
Anything you guys want to shout out before we bounce off?
Coachella,
obviously.
Coachella, yeah. Just stay tuned. You know, I think there's a lot going on.
18 months arena show.
You heard it. People are going to come back to this episode.
It'd be a great clip.
And we should get in the studio. I have a good feeling.
Absolutely. We should do it in a Joshua tree.
Totally.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Let's do that.
I would love that.
Maybe some aliens, maybe some mushrooms. I don't know.
That would be, come on.
And we got to plan the ancient civilizations tour. That's be really big.
I'll do my research on these conspiracies.
Yeah.
Right. Get to the bottom of these columns.
Yeah. All right, guys. Cheat Codes Podcast, Mojave Grey. See you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.